You know what else it is? It's our good friends from NeoVolta.
Oh, boy.
Symbol NEOV, my good buddy Ardes Johnson, who I'm going to make come to the studio next time he's in San Diego, so I know he's in a while. But Happy New Year, buddy. Good to see you. And boy, things are moving in the right direction for you guys. I'll tell you what, you're in the right place, right time, as usual.
Yeah, Happy New Year. Yeah.
Good to see you. Hey, talk about, just for people that didn't catch you last time you were on, or last year when you were on a few times, talk about a little bit of what you guys are doing, what you're up to, and what's happening for 2026.
Yeah, so we're an energy storage company, and we've been around since 2018, and we're providing solutions historically primarily to residential applications, but we're rapidly moving into the C&I space and ultimately the utility scale space. We're doing a lot of things in 26 that are going to help us grow that. We're partnering up with a couple of people to bring a factory to the U.S. and hot off the presses, we'll be signing a document pretty soon and putting out a press release that says that we're bringing a plant into Pendergrass, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta, and it's going to be great news for us and going to be some rapid growth of NeoVolta, as well as we're continuing our residential business, bringing in new product there to come to fruition probably at the end of this quarter, which is really going to support the U.S. footprint.
You know, Ardes, I got to ask you because, and I know, had I known you 10 years ago, we would have been talking about Germany leading the league in solar. And the biggest problem with wind is storage. The biggest problem was, why did it take so long for the storage industry, for the solar industry, to get to the storage conversation? Because look at what's happened in the meantime. And I often refer to days when Mike just did talk radio versus television. Frankly, I was doing this show and talk radio, but we would have endorsements where we would be endorsing Solar Alliance of America and Solar Ease and so on. And we were, you know, they were pitching solar systems because of the tax benefits and put money back onto your, you're putting energy back on the grid to get it. Why did it take so long to get where we're at now? Because it seems like we're finally at a sensible approach.
Yeah, I think what you said there at the very end is the primary driver, is put solar back onto the grid. Well, the grid's not really wanting the solar back anymore. And batteries in itself provide you that opportunity for self-consumption. And that hasn't been a play in the solar industry historically because the subsidization plus the requirement of the utility to take the excess solar has been something that ultimately created what we call the duck curve in California and put a lot of strain on the grid. And so batteries are helping alleviate that. So every day in California now, there are solar systems that have storage. They're filling the storage up. They're consuming that solar on their load. And in the afternoon, when the electricity prices get really expensive, they take that stored energy and put it back onto the grid and arbitrage it for a value. And that's where, you know, the combination of the price decrease over time, right? The commercialization of energy storage, whether it came from batteries that were used for EVs or whatnot, the entire industry is now leading to where what we call the attachment ratio, adding the storage to the solar, is becoming prevalent. If you looked back 2 years ago in California as an example, the attachment ratio of residential was less than 10%. Now it's getting closer to 100%. It's in the 90s now. So all solar systems installed today are putting in storage. And in fairness, solar, relatively speaking, is much easier to install than it is to do storage. But now the solar guys are getting good at it. They're starting to understand it. They know how to integrate it. They're working with the AHJs in the communities as well as the utilities. And one other real critical thing, solar's not necessarily been something that the utilities wanted from the residential behind the meter, but storage is what they do want. You know, our grid is growing, the consumption on our grid is growing rapidly, far faster than our ability to update the grid. So storage adds a complexity or adds a level of complexity into the installer's world, but it alleviates a level of complexity in terms of the utilities needs.
Ardes Johnson is the CEO of NeoVolta. NEOV is their ticker symbol. Ardes, we have about 30 seconds left.
Yeah.
Is the price of the solar panels, manufacturing to installation, is that coming down as well?
Yeah, you know, solar panels in and of themselves are really becoming more of a commodity than they ever have been in terms of their cost.
Okay.
And putting solar in is relatively a small cost to do it. Storage, on the other hand, has been much more expensive relative to the homeowner or to the business, and it's been cutting in half about every 2 years for the past decade. And now it's getting to where historically in 2016, when I was at Tesla, the cost was in the neighborhood of $1,000 a kilowatt hour. Now it's getting below $200 a kilowatt hour. So it's really starting to become economical in about 90% of the country.
Ardes Johnson, CEO, NeoVolta, ticker symbol NEOV, helping you save your energy that you're storing up there at your house or your business.